What is up, everybody? Welcome to the GVGCast. Happy Friday. This is episode 26. Things are looking a bit more normal here today on GVGCast. You can see I'm joined, as always, by my good friends and GVG co-founders, Derek Bittner, and once again in the flesh with a handsome new portrait behind him, Ash the Man Paulson.
Yes.
I'm gonna start with you, Ash, because I think we worried the audience a little last week. How are you feeling, man?
I'm doing a little better. I just today got to the point where I'm able to sit up at my desk normally again, which is why I was like, you know what, damn it, I'm going to be on camera again today and let people know that it's, that I'm doing okay, that I am on the mend. It's still, I'm still quite sore and sensitive. Like, my wife can't hug me because my ribs are still just so bruised, and I'm probably sprained. I think I probably messed them up quite a bit. But my back here still hurts, so I probably can't sit up at my desk for too long, but I'm at the point where I'm at least back now and I can be here for shortish periods of time. And I think by next week I'll be hosting worthy again, post show worthy. As you guys know, I missed last week's post show and this week's post show. I will be, because I gotta protect myself from laughing too much, because it hurts to laugh. And hosting, as you know, Steve, requires a certain level of energy and projection that I just don't have quite yet. If I yell or if I speak too loudly, everything hurts.
I hope you're not yelling at us too much.
Well, yeah, not yell.
He
but
might.
Yeah. But like when you project, you tighten up a little bit, and I can't tighten up at all right now because my ribs are just not okay. But I'm getting there. I'm way better than I was last week, and I think by next Friday I'll be hosting worthy and laughing worthy again. So
nice.
Let's hope so. Fingers crossed. And as you said, there is a handsome boy behind me. My younger sister-in-law, for my birthday, got me that portrait of Ocarina of Time Link, which is really kind of her. The weird part about it is that she said she got it at a Kohl's, and I'm like, no Kohl's I've ever been to has carried random Nintendo stuff like that. So I don't know, but I like it.
Just
and it's cool.
Shopping at Kohl's.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
so. Yeah. So
You'd be surprised. I got a really cool Breath of the Wild canvas a while back at Target. Like, I was just walking through Target and they had like a canvas. I have a Mario Odyssey one as well that they had there. It was really weird to find them, but I was happy to see them. Anyway, Derek, how are you doing, my friend? It's been a week.
I'm doing all right. The subathon I did was quite the success, way more than I ever would have thought. And so we really do appreciate all the support for that. I was shocked to see that my audience was really determined to get me into that Zero suit, and they did it after 3 hours.
I was so happy. I tuned in, and the minute I tuned in, I saw you in the Zero suit, and I got a bunch of tags like on Twitter and on Discord. They're like, "Derek's in the suit, Steve. Come jump in." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, they got me into the suit very quickly, and basically 9 hours. Well, really 11 hours in the suit, because I had enough to do a follow-up stream on Wednesday where I got to play Pac-Man. Because in the 12 hours I had for Metroid Dread, I beat Dread mode.
Nice.
So
I was saying, so you beat it. You did the damn thing. Congrats, man. That's no mean feat.
I think I was like 200 plus deaths. I can't remember the exact amount, but yeah, it was it was good. The funniest thing was I couldn't fulfill one of the requests or one of the goals, because one of them was, I thought it'd be kind of fun to take a cute picture with me in the Zero suit with Kai in this Metroid beanie that Amy had made. Samus and the baby type thing. He wanted nothing to do with me. He wanted
no.
Amy would put him in my arms, and he would go noodle and just slip out of me out from me as quick as he could.
So funny.
He wanted nothing to do to me.
It's like one of those videos when a dad like shaves his beard and then grabs his baby, and the baby freaks out. They're like, "Dad's in spandex." Oh God.
Yes. He wanted nothing to do that. Do with that, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got a couple games for my birthday from my mom. Sent them. They happened to arrive on that day, so I got myself Pac-Man repack.
Nice.
Got myself Turtles, Ash, and you'll be very happy with this one as well, Ash. I got Live Alive, so got some more games to play. Though Xenoblade is still kind of the top. I've been playing Pac-Man World on the side though, and that's a lot of fun.
I really want to play Pac-Man World. I don't think anything is gonna cut through that though until I finish Xenoblade 3, because I finished Live Alive, loved it. I want to talk about it, but I'm obviously not going to spoil anybody. But now that I've got Live Alive done and dusted, like I said, my back and my accident has been the ultimate monkey's paw situation, because I was saying how I was overworked and I really needed a little break just to decompress and play some video games. Well, I got my wish, but I got it in exchange for shattering the left half of my body. So I haven't been able to do much other than work when I can and then play some Xenoblade and stuff. And so I'm very much enjoying that. But yeah, I don't know if looking back in hindsight, I don't think I would have traded having some free time finally for this accident. But, beggars can't be choosers, right?
Well, regardless of how you got it, I think we're all glad that you got to have a break.
Yes.
You know what?
Indeed.
Other kind of break I really enjoy is a commercial break. We've got 2 sponsors for this episode of GVGcast. That was good, right?
Yeah, that was a great segue. Yeah. Nice.
Anyway, as always, this episode of GVGcast is sponsored by our good friend, The Game Orb. And if you don't know, if you haven't heard, if you haven't been here for the last 2 years, The Game Orb is a YouTube channel that brings commentary and gameplay footage from the Nintendo Switch and Xbox Series X gaming systems. While games like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu can be seen on the channel along with others, the Game Orb will now be adding Splatoon 3, Super Mario Sunshine, and Fall Guys to the gaming collection. So be sure to subscribe to the Game Orb at the link in the description below. I know he said this last week, but we saw him at PAX. He's a great guy. Please go support him. He's been helping us out for a very, very long time. We couldn't do this without you, man, and we love you so much. So please go sub if you're not already. There's 100,000 of you now, so I know that some of you aren't subscribed to the Game Orb yet. So go check that out. But I did say we had 2 sponsors, and if you've been watching for the last couple of weeks, you'll know that during our subathon, Azran127 became the latest GVGcast sponsor. And we've got a bit of info on what Azran would like to promote this week as well. I'm just pulling up the copy. I'm totally buying time. Oh, we have an image. Here you go. Here is the image. So finally, if you want to support Azran127, who is a great supporter of GVGcast and our main supplier of puns, he's got a Twitch, a YouTube, Twitter, and Discord, all of which he promotes his original music on. He's created themes for each and every member of the GVG crew, so we all have our own theme songs rendered by Azran himself, which is really cool. Azran is a super funny dude, great personality and a huge member of the GVG community. So please go support Azran as well. And just like the Game Orb, links to all of Azran's channels are in the description below right now. So go give him a click, go check him out, go subscribe. Go support someone who has supported us all the way through since the beginning as well. We appreciate both of you guys for sponsoring GVGcast this week. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the show proper. So let's just start it a little.
Yeah, just FYI, as usual, I did post.
Yes.
Oh, it's just, I pinned the links in chat as well. So
okay. Sorry. Yeah, they're also
definitely check those out.
If you're watching live, check chat, check the description. They're everywhere. Hey, Derek, I have a feeling that we kind of already know the answer to this question for you, but what have you been playing lately, my friend?
Well, obviously Dread, but then I've been playing Pac-Man. Got a little bit of Xeno here and there, but yeah, I did actually complete all of Splatoon 3 single player. I've not really do much with the multiplayer, which feels like it should happen at some point this weekend, considering it's Splatfest, but we'll get there. But yeah, my now that Splatoon 3 single player is done and all that, I'm going to try to get my focus back on the Xenoblade 3 and get further in that, because I feel like I need to.
Yeah, Xenoblade 3 is kind of like an albatross around my neck at this point. Like, I know that I want to finish it, but I just... knowing that there's still probably 30 to 40 more hours of it left for me, I'm like, that's so much. And I will admit, I've fallen into Splatoon hard. I've been playing a lot of it. A lot of our Fight Founders that I had just decided to switch to Splatoon, so I've had good reasons to play it with our community.
Nice.
And when I'm not playing it for a Fight Founder, I'm just playing it with my friends in general and with other community members who I find online at the time. So yeah, if you're online and you see me, hit me up. I'll probably join you and play with you. But if you're not on Team Fun, you're on Team Dumb. That's all I gotta say.
Nice.
Make the right choice. Be on the right side of history. Ash, what are you playing, man? What have you been up to since you've been couch bound? And we've heard a little bit about that too.
Yeah, so other than kind of ramping up, getting back into my day job stuff this week, I have had a lot of gaming time because I've been laid up on the couch, and I am very close to the end of Splatoon 3 single player mode. And what a single player mode it is! I always forget how much I love Splatoon single player campaigns. They're always so fun, and I think Threes is probably the best of them. And that's saying a lot because they've all been great. But I'm in Area 6 or Site 6, about halfway through. I've just got a little bit more to go, but I have been distracted by Xenoblade 3, and man, I knew this game was going to get its hooks in me. It's Xenoblade. I always love the stories, and I am happy to confirm that I do highly prefer Xenoblade 3's battle system to 2's. I like it a lot more. I still knocked it down to easy. I kind of just like to have a stress-free experience with Xenoblade games because I don't love the act of combat in Xenoblade. I just don't I've never have really, so I'm fine knocking it down to easy and just kind of exploring at my leisure and not really worrying about having really difficult fights, right? But I did the thing that I always do in Xenoblade games, which is I always explore way too far off the beaten path between story beats, right? And so I'm in, and no, don't worry, no spoilers. I'm not going to talk about any story spoilers, but I'm in Chapter 3 at the moment. And the recommended level for Chapter 3 is level 17. I went into Chapter 3 at around level 21, so I was already a little bit over-leveled. But Chapter 3 it just lets you explore off the beaten path a lot, it turns out, if you want. And so after exploring everything I could do, everything, and liberating a colony I didn't even know I could do in this chapter, I'm now level 49. My whole party's level 49.
I think that might be 17. I think that might be part of easy mode or something like that.
Oh, it definitely is. It would have been a lot harder for me to do that if I was playing on normal, for sure.
You better, from the sounds of it, you better be happy that they fixed the food because you're going to get crap for points for your jobs at this.
Yeah. I mean, again, I have been able to keep leveling up my classes though pretty regularly, which is surprising. But I'm not even that worried about it. Like I said, I don't play Xenoblade games for the combat. I straight up don't. I know there are people out there who love how multi-layered the battle systems are. That's great. But for me, I come to Xenoblade for the world, the characters, the story, the music, and I'm perfectly fine just embracing that and having a stress-free, easy experience, So I'm not worried about it.
Fair enough.
And I'm having a great time. The story, I just saw a cutscene that I was like, I didn't see it coming. And I'm like, whoa, I got goosebumps. I'm like, what's happening here? Oh, I got to keep going. So it's got its hooks in me deep, man.
The thing I'll say is that I feel like we've reached the point in social media discourse where people are just casually starting to drop spoilers about the game.
Yeah.
And that's where I start to feel the need that I need to pick up the pace and just finish it, because I got spoiled on something today, and I'm not going to say who, but it was one of you watching right now. I've got my eyes on you, spoilery people.
And the funny thing is, it's only been a month.
Yeah, and so it was a minor spoiler, but I was like, oh no. I was like, I don't want people telling me about the game without knowing they're telling me about the game.
Dude, the same exact thing happened to me. I tweeted innocently about loving Xenoblade 3's music, and then 2 replies. They were fairly minor spoilers, but they still spoiled me. And I'm like, it was basically, oh, if you think the music in that place is great, wait till you hear the music in blank. And I'm like, no. But
yeah, no, yeah. I've refrained from talking about the game entirely because I can't fault people this long after it came out, knowing that I've had it since day one, for them to be like, what do you mean you didn't finish? So I just don't talk about it. But I mean, just scrolling through my feed, I see people talking about it, which of course makes sense, and I would never begrudge someone who isn't coming into my tweets and saying like, hey man, did you know about this? But yeah, I've reached the point where I'm like, okay, I need to beat this so that when I see those tweets, I'm not upset by them. But anyway, yeah, it sounds like, I've been playing Splatoon and Xenoblade. That's about it. When I find the time, and I've been working on some other stuff behind the scenes that I think is going to be really fun, hopefully next week.
Although, Steve, there is one more game I do want to mention. Yes. Because our friends at Yacht Club were so kind as to send me a code for the newly released Shovel Knight Dig. And you and I played that at PAX recently. We didn't get a chance to talk about it, unfortunately. But it is now out, and it's every bit as fun playing it at home as it was at PAX a couple of weeks ago with you, man. And are you planning on picking that up?
I am, but I'm trying to find time in the schedule. I know it's on Apple Arcade, which sounds like objectively probably the worst place to play it, but it's also like I'm subscribed, so it wouldn't cost me money. I don't know if it's on Game Pass or whatever, but I'd like to play it on probably Switch. I think would be my favorite place.
I would say so. And I am going to try to get a first look video up on the channel over the weekend. Just
nice.
Kind of just a little playing the first 30 to 45 minutes and just showing people what the game's all about. So
yeah,
that's a good idea.
No worries. So anyway, before we jump into a little bit of this week's news, I want to keep it light. I didn't even know it was Friday until about 20 minutes ago. So that'll tell you the level of news discourse we're about to have. But anyway, we've got several super chats. I'd like to get some of those out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for your generosity.
Thank you.
I'm going to bang out a few of these versus matches here from Gold Pac-Man 135 with $2 each. The first one being Dwayne Johnson versus Keanu Reeves. You choose. If we're talking about real life, that's The Rock, like 100%.
Real life for sure. But if we're talking about like John Wick, then it's Keanu Reeves. Like
exactly.
That man is indestructible. He is indestructible.
If it is characters they've played, then it would be John Wick for sure, unless we count Black Adam because he's literally a friggin' superhero.
Well, then we just match him up against Neo.
Oh, that's fair. But Neo's powers only work inside of the Matrix.
True.
That's a good point.
Either way,
so I guess it's real life versus their
real life. I'm going to take the guy who looks like an actual mountain.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Following that up, Gold Pac-Man with a second matchup says Gru from Despicable Me versus Megamind from DreamWorks. And I'm proud to say that I don't know. I've got no idea.
I have no idea. I haven't seen either of these movies.
I mean, I've seen
I'm gonna go
Despicable Me. I haven't seen Megamind.
I'm going to go with the character who has Mega in his name. So for me, it's Megamind because, that sounds a little bit like Mega Man, and I'm biased.
I'm going to say that Megamind. Gru in Despicable Me seems like incompetent mostly.
Megamind's pretty incompetent as well. So I think Gru has a little bit more competence to him.
I'll go with my fellow dad on this one. I'll go with Gru. Thank you so much for those two. I'm going to read your third one after Jaden Buck here with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Continuing the tradition of Crazy Question Fridays. Crazy question number 52, a year's worth. Says, if you could go back in time to before a specific invention was invented and claim that you invented it, what would it be? Oh man, that one's easy for me.
Man, really?
I would claim to have invented the smartphone. Like if I
was going to say that. That was my answer. Damn it.
I mean, everyone has one now. The royalties would set you for life.
I was actually originally going to say the internet, but then I thought about everything bad the internet's turned into as well, and I don't know if I want to be associated with that. So,
I mean,
smartphone is what I got, but
smartphones are pretty terrible too when you think about it.
I mean, that's true. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it and say the NES, man. The NES launched a legacy. A legacy that has led to what we are all doing for our careers. So.
Oh, see, you're thinking altruistically. I'm thinking cynically. I just want that iPhone money.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking that, I'm going to combine the two, and I'll take Pokemon.
Ooh, that's good.
Largest media franchise in the world. Yeah, I'll take that, please.
Ooh.
Derek's just somewhere in 1992 waving a poorly drawn picture of Pikachu. He's like, I made this.
Yeah. Maybe I'll switch mine to Sonic then, because Sonic sure has endured, and we'll be talking about him a little later today too, I think. But Sonic
that's true.
Sure endured. I wouldn't mind being responsible for that.
That is true. Finally, before we continue on, or actually, okay, two more. Gold Pac-Man with $2 again. Pac-Man versus Sackboy. I'll give you Pac-Man since it's in your name.
I think it's got to be
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, right? I mean, yeah. I love Sackboy's game.
Sackboy isn't especially strong. Pac-Man has, from Back to the World, is a good butt bounce. He can throw his pellets. He's had a lot of different games that do different things. I think Pac-Man's got this.
Yeah, I think it's Pac-Man.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, finally, before we move on to some news stories, Rec BCQ with $5 says, oh crap, didn't realize this started, neither did I. Playing a lot of Splatoon 3 after beating Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and its post-game yesterday. Both games are so much fun. I didn't know there was a post-game. Anyway.
I actually didn't either. I mean, most Xenoblade games do have them, though, so that's not that.
Fair enough.
Plus, there's expansion stuff coming.
Right. True. They're both amazing fun. Obviously, very different games that scratch very different itches, but... I can't wait to finish Xenoblade. and then not talk about it online so that the people who haven't had time can have time. But we'll do a spoiler cast at some point, probably like towards the holidays at this point. But at some point later down the road, we'll probably sit down and...
I know the moment's passed, but personally, I'm burning to talk about Live Alive. I want to talk about that game so bad because I liked it so much. I know we probably won't at this point, but I just want to talk about all the different stories, all the different eras, our favorites, the crazy ending. But yeah,
there's probably a better way to do that.
I think you're right.
That's something for a meeting later on. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about some news. And I know, Ash, that you're itching to talk about Sonic, but I have to throw like the big story of the week out there first. What the hell happened to GTA 6? Like, my God. And also, just to give you an idea of how fast this moves, and I don't want to focus on this, but the kid that did it is already in jail. Like,
17 and did all this.
17 hacked Rockstar, dumped 91 videos of GTA 6 out there. I don't necessarily love how this happened. I don't like seeing stuff about games leak in this way because it is really screwed up. Like, he tried to ransom it off. He tried to get money for it, which, I mean, in a weird way is as GTA as it gets, but
right. Yeah, it really is.
But
this is the definition of fuck around and find out, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Textbook definition.
The thing is, he's a stupid 17-year-old. Like,
right. I feel
he had the ability, he just didn't realize the consequences. It's a constant thing with that age.
And that's where I feel really bad about this, because this kid probably had no idea that this was going to be what happened.
You think?
Yeah.
I truly do. I truly think he was just, obviously a smart kid.
Obviously smart, obviously talented, obviously ballsy. There's a lot there to, he just...
Yeah.
There are different kinds of smarts. He was definitely smart to be able to do this, but I have a hard time believing that even a 17-year-old wouldn't have some inkling of the trouble he was about to get.
You have no idea the stupid shit I got up to at 17.
Or even just the fact that people don't think things through because of him putting all this out there. People were like, they got those wild claims of like graphics are the first thing finishing games. So you're like, are you freaking high? Like, there are so many people out there who do not understand game development, and I barely understand game development, but I can tell you right now that that's not true.
Right. The amount of hot takes that spilled onto the internet about this.
That's definitely true. So few people who play games actually understand game development. I don't know. And I was a dumb teen as well. We all were at one point, but I guess maybe I shouldn't be basing it on what I would have done or not done. But I know that at 17, I had the presence of mind to know that would have landed my ass in jail.
I'm not going to lie. I think at 17, and if I had those abilities, I would have done it. I think I would have. I don't know that I would have distributed.
It all depends. It depends on upbringing. Depends on where he is. Like, there's a lot of different factors that can go in there, and just like, why not go for it? I have this ability. It's a good for a laugh, and what could really happen?
Exactly. That's what I think. Yeah. I think this kid was fucking around, realized he had the technical know-how to outmaneuver a huge monolith of a corporation. And he decided to do it, and he just thought, this is going to be hilarious. I'm sure that's what he was thinking. This is going to be fucking hilarious. And, it did end up being hilarious, but probably not in the way he expected it to be. And I agree. He absolutely deserves whatever consequences coming his way. But I do feel bad because, again, it's a kid, and this is going to follow him probably into his 30s, if not forever. And when you think about, like, all the things that you can do that can really, like, mess up your life, I think hacking a video game company is really low on that list of things you expect to just jack up your whole existence. That being said, GTA 6, honestly, to me, looks a lot further along than I expected. I think that the game itself, I'm surprised by.
I'll be honest, I've not really looked into it, just because I've kind of fallen hard off the GTA train.
Yeah.
I was never really on it to begin with. I think ironically, the one I played the most was the one that, looking back, everyone dislikes the most, which is GTA 4. I like GTA for, the amount of freedom it offers and just the absolute absurd things you can do in it. But I just never really became a fan. So for me, I casually looked into the GTA 6 stuff. I too, Steve, was surprised by how far along it looks like it is. But I'm not I haven't been scouring for every piece of info I can get, because I just don't care that much about it, unfortunately.
For me, it's less about how I feel about it. It's more that I just don't like perpetuating, stolen.
Yeah, that too.
Stolen media. Yeah. Same reason as why the Giga Leak was really exciting, but simultaneously kind of I feel weird about this.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting information contained in these. But what I was surprised by, though, is that, and I'll just be honest, I think that Rockstar is generally behind the curve, technologically speaking, when it comes to their games. I think that they focus a lot on building an open world and and they write amazing stories and scripts. But they don't do a whole lot. Visually, I usually find that they're half a generation behind everyone else. I remember when GTA 3 came out, and or maybe it was it was 4, and people were marveling that characters had openable hands and independent fingers. And I was like, we've been here for 5 years now. That's not remarkable. That is just Rockstar finally did it. They're almost like the Apple of video game companies, in that they take something that everyone's been doing, do it slightly better, and then people praise them as though they invented it.
Right.
But King of the Hills does say Red Dead Redemption 2 enters the chat. Yeah, but
RDR2 was an over-engineered game, and I will be the first to not even remotely close to the quality of RDR1, in that it's not fun.
I've heard that so many times, and I loved RDR1. That's the only open world Rockstar game I ever beat, and the fact that RDR2 just seems to be not fun, I was like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that, because I really wanted to love RDR2. I played through the whole thing, and at the end I was just like, I wasted a lot of hours. I didn't enjoy this even a little at any point. I shot a bunch of KKK members. That was cool. But then everything else, I was like, I mean, I don't need to know about horse balls and how they shrivel in cold weather. Why? Why was that a thing you put a person on? But the story was bland. The mechanics were awful. And I say over-engineered because they had a weird system of cores that you had to refill the cores that would auto-refill the meters. Why? Why was that in there? But anyway, I could talk all day about Rockstar and their various foibles. It's not but I feel sorry for this kid. GTA 6 is out there now. It honestly looks really good, but I feel bad for the folks that have been probably working under insane conditions on this game, because now all their hard work is out there and people are shitting on it probably 4 years before the game's going to come out.
Well, the sad part of all the sadder part of all this too is that no matter how good the game looked or didn't, so many people from that crowd out there are just shitting on it for the simple fact that it has a female protagonist, or one of the two protagonists is a woman.
And she's great
for a long time. You think they'd be prepped for this?
But... I know you think, but unfortunately, there is that crowd out there for whom something like that is a deal breaker, which will never make sense to us. But I think it's great, long time overdue. But I don't think it frankly matters how good or not the game looked when that was revealed, because for that crowd, that supersedes everything.
I agree. I think though that I like the idea. If you've seen Pulp Fiction, it's like a boyfriend girlfriend duo or a boy girl duo. I don't know their relationship, but it's a boy girl duo that are the main characters of GTA 6, and they remind me of the characters who are robbing the diner at the beginning of Pulp Fiction.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Honey Bunny and whoever the the other.
Yeah, I think the stated inspiration was Bonnie and Clyde, correct?
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
I like
really
that.
Cool. Yeah. And our patron chat is talking about.
Yeah, these guys are totally not going to live to the end if they go following Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, that's true too. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Anyway, GTA 6 is probably several years off, but it's out there now. And honestly, if you know a little bit about game development, it's shaping up fairly nicely. I think that it'll be a good game when it comes out, whenever that is. I think we're still waiting on the next gen version or current gen version of GTA 5. So I have no clue what that came out. I think. I don't know. Anyway,
whatever.
Anyway, let's talk about Sonic.
Anybody hear about Sonic?
Yeah,
John has played Sonic, and I got to hear him talk about Sonic, and it's weird to hear him so sold.
Yes, I was shocked. I honestly, John tends to be pretty even keeled about games. Yeah. And so if he says a game is good, like actually he's enthused about it after having played it, of course, I would trust that opinion. I would put a pre-order down based on that. So I'm fully on board the Frontiers train now. If John's,
oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say if John says it's that good, I'm in. I'm all the way in.
Same, and I mean, and John is obviously he's the critic I want to hear from most because he's part of our very own team, and I respect everything his opinions and how he talks about games. But it isn't just John. That would be one thing if it was just him. But impressions across the internet from those who played it at either EGX or Gamescom have largely been positive. So John is joining a chorus of other voices who are saying, no, this is actually pretty damn good. And, and I put the most stock in what John says, of course, but it helps even more that so many others are like, no, it's great. And as I told you guys, I have been cautiously optimistic, really hoping that Sonic Team nails it with this game. And it's starting to seem like maybe they are. And we won't know, of course, until we play it for ourselves, for sure, until the game is actually out. But John being as glowing as he was about it, and I haven't had a chance to listen to the discussion from this morning, Derek, but I'm going to do that tonight. But yeah, for the positive impressions he was posting in our team Discord, I'm like, oh my God, yes, let's go. I can't wait.
The key thing to me that stood out from his description of it all is just how he was saying that everything you get faster and faster at it just from your own muscle memory, not even the upgrades, but you have the upgrades and you have the fact that you figure out how to take out enemies quicker. You figure out how to just do things faster and faster because he only had a 15-minute demo to work with, but was able to go in many different directions and try different things. And a lot of those things he did repeat on, he was able to play, get done quicker. So just learning those aspects, learning everything, and the fact that you can do that circle in circle move or whatever they calling it, while boosting, it's like, hey, there's the speed we've been looking for. That's nice. It's the side loop. Thank you, Down Alpha Lion. It just seems like a good, there's a good basis there to get me interested.
I will be right back. Someone's at my door.
I think one thing that would be very helpful for Sega to do is maybe release an overview video of all of Sonic's moves in Frontiers, because I feel like I'm hearing about all the stuff that Sonic can do secondhand through people's impressions, which is fine. But I would like Sega to do a proper rundown of, okay, here's all the stuff that Sonic can do in Frontiers, because as we know from impressions, the Lightspeed Dash is back. The little bounce from Sonic Adventure 2 is back. John mentioned that. The Drop Dash is in, and for the first time we've ever had the Drop Dash in 3D. And we know this stuff because we're plugged into this stuff, but I don't think the layperson is necessarily going to know about all this. And I just think it would be great if Sega came out and said, hey, look at all this cool shit that Sonic can do. Not in those words, because I don't think Sega would do that. But
an overview trailer paired with a demo, I think, would just nail it.
Yeah, I really wish they were considering a demo. It doesn't need it. People are going to buy Sonic regardless, but I do wish they would do a demo. And I still don't get. I'm a little salty because I'm so happy that everyone who went to Gamescom got to play it. I'm so happy John got to play it at EGX.
I know where you're
Why
going with
didn't
this.
they bring it to PAX West, man?
It was such a weird choice. I
shouldn't have yelled that loud.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is.
They heard you two were coming. Like, oh hell no.
Yeah, they're like, these guys. We'll bring Total War. Keep them away from here.
I just don't get
and
it.
It worked.
That would have been the perfect place to have it at, in addition to EGX and Gamescom. I don't understand. I'm a little jealous.
You know what, though? I will accept. I would have felt saltier if they brought it and we didn't get to play it than if they than not bringing it at all. And I'm glad that John got to play it. And you should absolutely go check out the video he and Derek did on it. It's live right now.
Definitely.
So go.
I just picked his brain, so he's the one that played, and yeah, he was just optimistic the entire time.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
I need it.
to see it. It is, however, almost time for our patron topics. Before we get to those, we have several super chats. Let's go ahead and read those out real quick. Duncan Metcalf, that's a new name to me, with $5. Thank you so much. And if you are new, welcome. Says, hey, GVG, Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD had Miiverse content, which is shut down. If they come to Switch, how will it be handled? I think that Nintendo would probably scrub it out. I think that they're just going to axe that part of it, unfortunately. Just based on past behavior. I believe that they did something similar with other games that had Miiverse functionality in the past.
Yeah, and all that Miiverse functionality is already replacing something else, so they could just find, like, I don't know, stickers or something.
Though, Splatoon 2 and 3 have proven that you can have a Miiverse style feature without actually having Miiverse. So,
true.
Not impossible, but I agree with you, Steve. They're likelier probably just to scrub it out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll just be gone, unfortunately. Kind of like they did with the Tingle Tuner from Wind Waker on GameCube to Wind Waker on Wii U. Unfortunate, but...
And that is a genuine shame, because, like, I was never that into, like, a lot of games Miiverse functionality I could take or leave, but I did genuinely think that the bottles in the ocean idea in Wind Waker HD was genuinely cool.
Yeah.
And I'm going to miss that.
Yeah.
I agree.
That was nice.
There's still a way to do it, but I just don't see Nintendo standing up, like, a bespoke server system just for one port of a very old game at this point.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, moving on. Nautical Noe, and thank you again for the super chat. Nautical Noe with $4.99 says, I always miss the crossover question, but I at least wanted to pitch that a Jet Set X Splatoon crossover, Jet Set Cross Splatoon, I hate that I say that, would be sick. Keep up the great work, guys. Hell yeah, I would love to see Beat as like an orange Squid Kid.
Very well.
I would love that. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
The aesthetics of both series just dovetail so nicely together. That would be so cool. I would love that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think, Duncan, you accidentally super chatted the same question twice, because our last super chat is from Duncan again with $5 that just says, Miiverse is gone. How would the HD ports of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess handle this? Scrub it out, probably. But thank you again for the super chat. We appreciate that
thank you very much.
so much. All right. We've got topics submitted by you folks, our patrons.
Real quick, before we move on, we do have something on the topic, and it's even titled after this. We should probably talk about the fact that we got a trailer. We actually have been given an official announcement on when the Mario movie trailer is coming.
Right. Holy crap, I forgot about that.
The Pratt approaches. New York Comic Con. I think it's October 6th. Is that correct?
Yes.
We're getting a debut?
So, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I've never been more salty than when I got the press release about that. They were like, hey, are you at New York Comic Con? We'll have opportunities around the Mario movie to discuss with you. And I was like, maybe if you told me like 2 months ago, man.
Right.
You could have told me there was something to go there for.
I think we should definitely give it, depending on how they release it, of course. I think we should react to it, though, together.
Oh, God,
watch it live together, react to it, and discuss it after.
I think that there's room for that. It's also one of the riskiest. I remember back in the GX days.
That is also true.
John did the Sonic trailer, and it got millions of views. Like, it did really well. But also, I'm pretty sure we got in some kind of copyright trouble because the Sonic trailer was on the screen during it.
Maybe we watch it individually then, and then just jump right into a discussion about it.
Yeah, I think we'll have to see. I mean, do we even know that they're putting the trailer out after Comic-Con?
That's a good question.
Depending on, we don't actually know. It might just be for NYCC attendees for like a limited amount of time.
Right.
So, we'll have to kind of wait and see how that goes.
Run in there screaming, asking to see the trailer.
It's going to be weird. Like, that's the thing. Like, it might be good. It might be bad. I have no idea. But hearing a lot of these actors' voices coming out of the characters.
I am certainly trepidatious about this. Like, honestly, Charlie Day as Luigi freaks me out more than Chris Pratt as Mario.
Really?
I tweeted about this because someone was like, drop your hot ass takes about the movie. And I was like, I just picture Charlie Day being unable to do Luigi and instead doing Charlie from Always Sunny. Like, but it's just a manic, super insane Luigi. That's like really hard to stomach.
It's funny because I've had, we've all had how many months now to kind of let the idea of Chris Pratt and this whole cast voicing who they are gel. But even now, all these months later, I can't envision it.
It's because we haven't had a trailer.
But I can't even envision a trailer.
That's the thing. If we had a trailer, we could get used to it, but we haven't had any of that. So
I just can't even imagine the trailer. When I try to think of Mario's face and him opening his mouth and Chris Pratt's voice coming out of it, my brain breaks. It just melts. And I don't know.
I mean, I hate to say it, I'm gonna drop probably a hotter take than what I did on Twitter. I don't think I could sit through a Charles Martinet voiced Mario movie. I just don't think I could. I think
fair.
That's fair. Martinet's super energetic Mario is really great in short bursts. But if you've ever heard his retelling of his audition for Mario, which by the way is a little problematic in this day and age.
Oh boy.
Because it's the most stereotypical Italian it's some kind of pasta pizza recipe. Anyway, I can't imagine it listening to that for 2 hours. I was I think I would claw my eyes out. But I also can't imagine Star-Lord being Mario. There's an in-between somewhere there that I think they should have shown us.
Right.
Because I'm confident with Nintendo. I'm confident that Nintendo still bears the scars from the 90s Mario movie.
Oh, sure.
I'm confident that they're we need to not screw this up.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say I feel like they probably auditioned the hell out of these people, and Nintendo probably was pretty picky. I just hope that that's true. I hope I'm right.
Me too.
So I was just going to say, I've seen people express concerns are we really going to get that much from a teaser trailer for this? And if you look at past movies from, I'm blanking on them, the Despicable Me guys, of course.
Illumination.
Yeah. Their teaser trailers are basically just a 2-minute section of a movie. That's what we're going to, if that's the teaser trailer, that's what we're going to get.
Which could be, that's what
we're going to get. It should theoretically get us a nice slice, but usually it also doesn't focus on the main characters. So
oh man, Betty Nom's Bunsies, which I love that name, by the way. Betty Nom's Buzzies in our live audience chat says Danny DeVito should play Wario, and you know what?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I could see it. I could see it actually.
I could definitely see Danny DeVito as Wario. That would be interesting. But I think the Mario movie, I'm cautiously optimistic because I feel like Nintendo has to know better than to just drop a turd on us with this one.
Right. Our good friend Top Dog just introduced me to my personal nightmare. She says if we should have a Mega Man Legends movie, Volnut would be voiced by Chris Pratt, and the Surbots would be voiced by the same people who voiced the Minions in Despicable Me. I think that would be my personal hell, and I never want that to happen.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. I was going to say something, but I completely forgot what it was, so it doesn't matter. I guess while we're on the subject of Mario, we have to move on, but I do want to ask: are both of you prepared for Rabbids to talk in Mario and Rabbids?
I've heard clips, and I'm okay with Edge talking.
Yeah,
that one works fine for me. The others, that is weird.
It's so weird. It's going to be bizarre. I didn't play the original Mario and Rabbids. It's just something I never got around to. I still want to, but Sparks of Hope continues to look really, really impressive, and I'm here for it. Bring on the chaos, bring on the weirdness. I'm here for the Rabbids talking. So we'll see how that goes.
Did I read Rec BCQ's $2 super chat about
you
Xenoblade?
Did not. I was actually going to mention that later. Yeah.
All right, real quick before we move on to our patron topics, which we do have to get to. The show's almost over. But Rec BCQ with $2 says, favorite Xenoblade Chronicles 3 party member? Mine's Uni. I'm just going to drop it, Senna, and if you don't like her, you're wrong.
That's hard. I like them all so much. Honestly, it's such a great cast of characters. I am torn between Mio, Uni, and Tyon. Honestly, I didn't like Tyon much at first, but he's really grown on me. I think I'm gonna go Mio, but maybe It depends on the day of the week.
I mean, they're all good, but I will say, nobody ever says Noah, and Noah's kind of standard, but I think
I like
underestimate how good of a leading man Noah is.
I like him. I think he kind of kind of falls into the background for me so far compared to Shulk and Rex, who had stronger personalities. But I do like Noah, and I'm waiting to see if maybe something happens that kind of propels him to the front for me. But I do like it.
True. Yeah. We can all agree that Lance wants something a bit meatier, though.
Oh, always. I do love Lance too. I love the whole cast. That's the thing. The whole cast is so damn likable.
Mm-hmm.
True. Anyway, speaking of meaty, let's get into our Patron topics. If you'd like to know about how you can submit a topic for GVGcast, head over to patreon.com/GVGaming, where at the producer tier or above, that's just $10 a month. You can submit topics for each and every episode of GVGcast, some of which we'll choose and read on screen. Ton of other benefits. We'll talk more about that later. Derek, let's start with you, my friend. What's your topic this week?
All right. My topic comes from Brendan Hesse, who says, if you could mash up one game's gameplay mechanics with another's art, music, story to create a new game, what would you choose? For example, I would love to see a single-player game with Dark Souls or Elden Ring's gameplay and storytelling with Phantasy Star Online's art style and music, or an FPS with Mega Man Zero's aesthetics and Doom Eternal's gameplay. And I hate to crib from this, but I would love to see a Castlevania with the aesthetics of Bloodborne.
Ooh.
I want that.
Okay.
I want that so hard.
That is sick. I like that.
Yeah, just going after Dracula, working your way through the castle yard, up to the castle. Come on, that would be freaking amazing.
That is awesome. Brendan Hesse got really close to my answer for this question. I want Bayonetta gameplay with PSO aesthetics and music. Like, I want that like futuristic vibe of PSO, but with that over the top crazy ass action that's in Bayonetta, specifically 3.
Yeah.
I hate to crib from Brendan's as well, because Brendan, you already mentioned something that I would have said, but Mega Man Zero has my favorite art style maybe in any game series ever. I love that style so much. And I've said before how I would like to have a game that chronicles where you like play the L-Force. You play the L-Force as X-Zero and maybe Axel. Just a game that chronicles the L-Force between the X and Zero series. But I want it as like a stylish 3D action game. In this case, it doesn't need to be a platformer. I want to pull off crazy, stylish, cool-ass moves as X and Zero. Devil May Cry style action game. You play it X and Zero, again, maybe Axel. But it's just stylish action, but it's a Mega Man X game that covers the L-Force between X and Zero as a stylish 3D action game. That's what I want with the art style and aesthetics of the Zero series. Hell yeah. I want that so bad.
That would look pretty cool in 3D.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Let's throw it to you next, Ash. Who's your topic from? What have you got for us this week?
So my topic this week comes from Jack Sammons, who asks, what is your favorite video game console specific feature that didn't carry over to its successors? Examples: 3D from 3DS, Dreamcast VMUs. And this is basically, I just wanted to answer this because it's my chance to gush about how much I miss Street Pass. Street Pass is it. I mean, 3D from I actually love the stereoscopic 3D, and I'm one of its few staunch defenders to this day, I feel like. But it wouldn't work practically. 3D TVs were a fad that didn't work out. I just don't think it realistically would work taking the stereoscopic 3D and putting it into other into home consoles. But Street Pass, the Switch is still technically a handheld, and I miss Street Pass so much. I loved it. I bring my Switch to every convention. Give me that sweet Street Pass experience, Nintendo. Come on, give me those Street Pass tags. I could bring my 3DS with me still, and I might start doing that again, but I want it on what's current, and what's current is Switch, and Street Pass just enabled such a unique way of interacting with your handheld game, your handheld game system, and it's never been quite replicated. And maybe Nintendo has no interest in that, and that's fine. But I miss the hell out of Street Pass, and for my money, that is what I would transplant into a modern hand. It wouldn't work on like PlayStation or Xbox, like on a proper home console, but the Switch, it's still technically a handheld. Give me Street Pass. I miss it.
Technically, it is a handheld.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's technically a handheld console, so it would work there. It just wouldn't work on like a traditional home console like PlayStation. Yeah.
All right, Derek, how about you, my friend?
I wish the PS5 would have the full set of backwards compatibility.
Oh,
I love the backwards compatibility feature. I love having one console hooked up to my TV and be able to grab any game from my shelf and just load it in and play. Don't have to worry about workarounds or upscalers or anything like that, I could just pop the game in and play it. Maybe it's not the best, but at least I can play it.
That's true. I'm definitely on board with that one. I think that it'd be nice to see one of the big three just fully embrace back compat, which would have to be either
Xbox got the closest. I mean, the big thing here is if Nintendo's successor to the Switch, whenever that drops, I don't care when it is, but when it drops, it needs backwards compatibility, the ability to carry over all the games, because people have bought so many games on the Switch. Let us have access to those still.
Oh yeah, I
think there'll be riots if they don't have backwards compatibility on the Switch.
Absolutely.
I think they will.
I've said it for years now. Nintendo came up with a brilliant design that also put them in a corner here. Like, there's no way people are going to want something different from them after the Switch. And so when they make that shift to whatever the next piece of hardware is, that library needs to come. I've bought so many games for that. I need those games, and I need them not. And I'm just going to say this because they've done this every single time. Don't reset the damn eShop. I don't want to buy them again.
Yes. Just transfer the eShop. That's all you need to do.
Yep.
It's hard to imagine that whatever form the next Nintendo hardware takes, it's hard to imagine they're going to go away from the Switch concept, because, as you said, Steve, they have developed themselves into a corner, and going from what they have with the Switch to a more traditional home console, I feel like inextricably is going to feel like a step back if they do that, and I don't think they will.
Exactly.
So, but one thing I do miss, to kind of piggyback off of what you said, Derek, I miss that original PS3 fat launch model so much because of its physical back compat. You could just put in a PS1 disc and it worked. And I get why there's a million more.
I know it makes sense, but I still wish I could just grab a PS1 or a PS2 or a PS3 game off the shelf and just pop it into a PS5 and be good to go.
Yeah.
Yep. They definitely need to do that. All right. So my answer for this is a tie. And that's kind of a cop-out, but I literally can't separate these two in my mind. Jack actually called out one of them in that I love the Dreamcast VMU. I thought it was such a cool, novel idea, and I would love to see it iterated upon, with current technology, because you could fit a relatively competent micro gaming console in something the size of a VMU these days. Like, you could play little, NES or Game Boy games on something like that, and I would love to see that. The other one, though, and we talked about it earlier in the show, is Miiverse. I really miss Miiverse. I think the Wii U had just this unique, amazing community that was oftentimes off kilter and hilarious. But the thing I loved most about it was that it was a social network where it was assumed you understood gaming, where you didn't have to worry about somebody seeing a post that you made and be like, what is this thing you're talking about? No, man, everybody's weird here. We're all weird here. and the fact that the community tied directly into games, games supported it. We had a Smash stage with Miiverse posts. So I really hope that
I missed that stage so much.
Yeah, that's a stage that'll just never come back because you'd have to bring Miiverse back online for it to work. So I'm kind of sad that doesn't exist. But those would be my two picks. Personally, I'd probably, in this day and age, angle more toward Miiverse because realistically, I'm probably not going to carry a Dreamcast VMU around with me, especially in a world where I have a Switch and a phone and all this.
I love the absolute chaos that Miiverse represented.
Yes,
and I miss it. I miss, especially in the Smash stage form. The most inappropriate, heinous shit would pop up when you got KOs in that stage, and it was always funny. And it was I miss it so much.
Yeah. Maybe someday we'll get to revisit Miiverse. All right. Anyway, my topic for this week comes from Vedran, who I seem to pick up his topics a lot, but I can't help it. He speaks to me. Anyway, Vedran writes, which mascot platformer do you feel is in most need of a comeback nowadays? And I'm going to say something that's going to hurt. I'm going to say it. It's Mega Man. It's been
right.
It's 4 years since his last outing, his last proper outing. And if I'm getting more specific, even though platformer is just I'm going to count him anyway because he's a Mega Man. Volnut, man, he's still on the moon. And it's been 20 years.
Does that count as a platformer though?
Well, I'm splitting hairs here. because he's a Mega Man, and I'm giving him he's an offshoot of a platforming mascot. If I had to choose a Mega Man, I would choose Volnut to come back. If I have to stick to the platformer rule, then X is the next one. Yeah. X is absolutely
that's
a platformer.
Where I was going. I was going to say, like Cutie Caitlin in our live audience chat said, Mega Man is already back. What? And you know what? Fair. Mega Man 11 wasn't that long ago in context, but it has been 17 plus years since Mega Man X8. So I think X is my answer for sure. I mean, yeah, we have Mega Man X Dive, but that doesn't really count. But like half counts. So yeah, for me it's X. I mean, and if Volnut counts, then sure, Volnut. But if we're talking about a platforming mascot, it's got to go. I got to go with X.
You can't talk about a Mega Man comeback without mentioning Volnut, though. Let's be real.
True, though. True, absolutely.
That'd be like just ignoring the blatantly criminally underused character in the series. All right, so it's a Mega Man love fest.
I see a few people saying Sly Cooper, and I want to mention Sly Cooper only because today I believe is Sly's 20th anniversary.
Yep, true.
And R.I.P. Sly, because I do miss those games as well.
They were a lot of fun. I think I honestly see people call for Sly and Jack, and they'd be cool, but I don't know. I feel like their story sort of ended, other than a slight cliffhanger for Sly 4. But yeah, I'd probably go Rayman. I don't care if it's another 3D Rayman that we got like for Rayman 2 and 3. That'd be cool, or another game like Origins or Legends. They're a lot of fun, and they can tap into that. That'd be wonderful. I'd be totally down for it.
Yeah.
So,
does Klonoa still count, or does the fact that you just got the Fantasy Reverie series?
No, it doesn't count. That's a comeback.
Okay,
that's a comeback.
Because we still need 3 though. We still need a proper new game though.
But he got a re-release. 3, Mega Man X hasn't had a re-release.
Oh yeah, we did. He had the Legacy Collection.
That's a port. Klonoa got a fresh coat of paint. I think that's what qualifies.
I see what you mean. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
As for let me think here, actual platforming mascot. You know what? Does this count? You know what? I'll count it because it seems to fit. We need a platforming Souls-like. Bring back Maximo.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is basically 3D Ghosts and Goblins. So there you go.
Maximo was hard, man. That game was tough.
Oh, it was rough.
That is a brutally difficult game. Ape Escape would be good too. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ape Escape is a good one. Definitely.
Well, my friends, it is the witching hour. I'm going to say that until the end of October, but we have several new super chats to read.
Yeah,
we got through our topics, right? Yeah, we did.
I believe we did.
All right, so let's read the rest of these super chats, and then we'll head out for the night. Head out to the post show. 2 of the 3 of us will head out to the post show. Anyway, following up our previously read super chat, Titus Malvolio with $10. Thank you so much. Just says nothing to ask or report, just dropping some love. Well, thank you. Much love back to you, Titus. It was a pleasure to meet you at PAX.
Thank you.
It was very fun having our Fighter founder for Splatoon 3 the other night. We got Brandon in and one of his friends, and I gotta say we were killing it. We were really killing it.
Speaking of Fighter founders, I'm looking forward to ours tomorrow for Wave Race 64. Titus, thank you. I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. Duncan Metcalf with $2 says, "Sorry for sending the same super chat. No need to be sorry. We just wanted to let you know that's your money. You know." Just wanted to make you aware. Definitely no harm, no foul. But thank you for
thank you very much.
Sending both of those and that one. Alan Wilkinson with a £5 super chat says Sparks of Hope is just a single costume change feature away from dressing Mario as Star-Lord. He's even already got the twin blasters. Yep, you're not wrong.
What? That's so true. Yeah. That was so weird. But
somebody will mod that.
Some Chris Pratt voice DLC coming in.
Yeah.
I could see that, and that's a little terrifying.
No, I could. Yeah.
I hope they don't do that. It would be really fucked if we got Chris Pratt voicing Mario in a game. I would feel really bad for Charles Martinet, who's been so committed.
Oh no, that should absolutely stay Martinet's world.
That's where I hope that never changes. Don't pull a Kojima and put a celebrity in Mario.
I mean, I don't think Nintendo's going to spend the money to.
Agreed. They don't need to. That's the thing. And I think it would actively harm the game's reputation with the existing fan base. So it's just not a good move for them. All right, anyway, moving on. Rec BCQ with $5 says, it makes no sense, but I want a Souls game with the Splatoon /ARMS style to it. That's interesting because I feel like the arms... Well, okay. If it's just the visual styling, I actually could get behind that. I would love to see a Souls-like game that is not so grimdark, like is more bright and colorful. Yeah. I like bright and colorful games.
I'd be down for that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me that. I would buy that. Aramis Baramis with a super generous $50 super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Just says, hey, GVG crew. Hope you all are having a great cast. We certainly are. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also, Steve, really quick, Cutie Caitlin in our live audience chat said, I didn't know this, but apparently there was a mod for Mario Party Superstars that gave Mario's Chris's voice. And it's hilarious. I know.
Oh my God.
I know.
Pass. Hard pass.
Yeah.
I'm sure he says a bunch of messed up crap. All right. Duncan Metcalf back with a $10 super chat says, Derek, I have the exact same shirt as you.
Nice.
I've seen a lot of people with this shirt, so it's a good one.
You have excellent taste, my friend. And then Duncan back again with $5 says, Steve, I just got your amiibo. I did too. I'll get it between this show and the post show.
I haven't gotten that one yet.
But yeah, I had to pick it up. I mean, it's got my name on the box. But anyway, that wraps it up with our super chats. So of course, that means that we're at the end of this show. This is the end of episode 26 of the GVG cast. Thank you guys for hanging out with us this evening. Trying to run a little bit of a quicker show today. Ash is hanging in there in that chair for us, but I want to get him
a little bit. Yeah.
I want to get Ash back on his back as soon as possible. That sounded wrong, but I did it on purpose this time. Anyway, as y'all know, we could not do this show without you. Your guys' support means the world to us. If you want to learn how you can support GVG cast directly, head over to our Patreon over at patreon.com/gvgaming, where we offer tiers all the way from $1 to a sponsorship tier that just go check it out if you want to. But we've got a ton of perks on there. We offer the ability to play with us each and every month, 2 times a month for our executive producers and above. And speaking of those folks, before we sign off, we have to give a special thank you to our patrons at the producer tier and above. You guys really help us keep the lights on. It means a lot to us that you're here each and every Friday supporting what we do here at GVG. We literally could not live the dream about talking about video games with our friends online without you. Before we go, though, we do have to give an extra special thank you to our patrons at the executive producer tier and above. And those fine folks, as always, include Brandon Bovia, Cutie Caitlin, Fangs, Dan and Twistle, Z Patty, Just Brian, Sky Blue Flames, Eastman 23, Adam O'Sullivan, Richard Herrera, Logan Daniel, Christopher Baque, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Critter XD, Kitty Kong Facts, Angel Martinez, Vidron Hotik, Joshua Hunter, Benny Yao, Azran127, Black King, Pagrema, Geller, Joseph Rutkin, Titus Malvolio, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Kyle, Wataniac, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Doug Shomix, Andrew Medeiros, Brady Power, Becca, Rocks the Cat, Killamox, Eddie B, Kit Fisto, Jessica Toad, Deaneth, Sci-Fi Lullabies, Michael McCaw, Nope, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber, Straight Lace, Justin Matthews, Too Much Spaghetti, Bane 400, Ascaron 809, Rioner, Nathan Steele, Spicy Pandaughter, Rain in Clouds, The Game Orb, Dano the Artist, Super Gamer Dude 101, Grantles, Ravelox, my mom. Hi, Mom. Mega Amster, Kane Woolley, Dark Steel 01, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Cystic Warrior 29, DJ Jersic, Dinner Sonic, Derek, Nova the Artist, Colin, Blaze Star 25, Mumbling Yeti, Cameron Sharp, Screamo Shaman, Mason Riley, Keel, Willow Pingree, Moon Knight, Ray Clausen, Brendan Hesse, Noah Fitterer, Calvin Atkinson, Ryan's Fault, Brainchild, Pat Pending, Jim Wakelin, Lauren Bond, Longboy Shiggy, that's a great name.
I love that name.
Andy Mindp, Ad, Kyle the Monarch, Alpha Lion, Lord Metarex, Kyle Gamer and Barry Rookie, Jay Brox, Salad Dinner, I love that one too.
Yeah.
Revolver Axolot, Datboy64, Blaze Collard, Eric, Danielle Crowder, Alex Westover, Cat Evie Person 5, and finally, Lady Maxillary. Woo! That is a list. If you want to know how you can... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Steve, really quick. We are going to be doing the Splatfest. We're streaming the Splatfest tomorrow at some point, right?
Yeah. I mean,
we
plan
don't
on
know
it.
exactly when yet, but yeah.
Yeah. Just keep an eye on our Twitter and the channel, but we will be streaming the Splatfest at some point tomorrow. Sorry to interrupt, Steve. Just
Keep an eye on social media. We will be playing for Team Fun on the Splatfest. That happens sometime this weekend. Splatfest is live probably right now until the end of Sunday. So if you want to join us and fight the good fight for Team Fun, you know where to find us. We'll be right here on youtube.com/GVG official, twitch.tv/official GVG, because naming is a myth. Or somewhere else on the internet. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. We're headed to our Patron exclusive post show one last time, patreon.com/GVGaming, if you want to find out how you can watch along with us. It has been a pleasure hosting GVGcast for you this Friday. We will see you sometime this weekend, and if not, next Friday for the next episode of GVGcast. Thank you guys for hanging out, and we've got places to be, people to see, and chicken to eat. We will see you next time. Until then.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.